Regardless of the size of an organization, they usually want to have some kind of communication, whether it's only internally or externally, and DKS was no exception. As editors of their magazine, they chose the duet of Elisabeth Grundtvig and Ida Felve Hansen, who conveniently also lived together. And Grundtvig in particular was not afraid of taking up subjects that was bound to create debate. One such subject that threatened the whole organization was that of the women's right to vote. The question was whether you should have your suffragette organization within DKS or without it. One such proponent was Louise Nørlund, who went through a number of different organizations outside DKS in order to promote the suffrage. The other side was represented by Goethe Lemke, who as an author got into the debate mostly on a philosophical level and not as a politician. She, however, did not see the suffrage as the only important thing, and therefore she would fit much closer within the general idea of the DKS rather than to be in a political organization. A third option, and the one that eventually won, was that it really should be fought on a party politics base instead, and one of the proponents for this was Elna Munch. Her position was it wasn't really the gender, but what policies they wanted to run that was the important thing. This was of course much more palatable to the established parties, and as such much easier to get the party organization behind. And with people like Elna Munch already in the party, it was much easier to tap into this new electorate if you extended the suffrage. Not all women politicians made the cuts, and one of them was Elisabeth Octoloni, who, together with Signe Andersen, turned out to be too revolutionary even for the Social Democrats. Octoloni was a veteran of the movement. She was a founding member of DKS, and she came with a background that would have placed her solidly within the conservatives. But like Jacques, she saw that it was the people at the bottom of the society that needed to be awoken. This made her too radical for even the Social Democrats, and she, together with Signe Andersen, was expelled. A much more traditional way into the party was exemplified with Helga Larsen. She had been fundamental in organizing women in trade unions, and since trade unions were closely aligned to the Social Democrats, this was the party that she associated with, and this way became a candidate for once the suffrage was extended. This, of course, put her in opposition to Elna Munch, who represented the Liberals, although they were to agree on the suffrage. So it came to be, in 1915, that the Parliament extended the suffrage and changed the constitution. Due to a fire at the castle, the Parliament was housed instead at what is today an appellate court. In the subsequent election of 1918, the upper chamber had 4 women elected, among them both Munch and Larsen. The lower chamber had more members and consequently also more women, and one of them elected at that time was Nina Bang. She made history in 1924 when she became the first female member of the cabinet. She got education as her area of responsibility, an area that had long been the focus of the women's movement.